What's going on, YouTube? Claic is all back again with another Final Fantasy Brave Exvius trial guide, and today we're taking on no one other than Omega, the guy people told me to watch out for, that he's really tough, but Global's got a little edge on JP finally, and we have Olive who's going to help us take him down. So Omega is a machine-type monster, boss, so you guys are going to be able to use Machine Killer on it. It also cannot be broken defense and spirit-wise, but his attack and magic can be broken, but with this strategy, we don't care about breaking his attack or magic. Next up, he can only be harmed by lightning or non-elemental attacks. He is 300% imperiled to lightning, so he's taking that lightning damage pretty hard. However, if you use any other element on Omega, it's going to be absorbed. It actually absorbs it and heals it. So you're going to have lightning chainers, lightning finishers, lightning damage dealers, looking at you all of 7-star, to be able to take him down. Now, getting into the bread and pudding of what he does, he really only has a 4-turn rotation that you really have to worry about. When the battle starts, before you get to do anything, he's going to do a big magic AoE fire damage. And if you don't have 100% or close to that fire resist on everyone, including your friend unit, they're dying. And it's going to set you back. So I highly recommend getting everyone to 100% or as close to 100% as you can and hope they live with a lot of HP and spirit, okay? So that's going to happen. And then it's your turn. After that, he's going to do a single target death hit. So you're going to make sure that your physical damage tank is, pulling that to them, or someone else's that has death resist. And then he's going to do a lot of single target auto attacks, which he's going to do every turn, which is why you need a physical damage tank. On turn 2, he's going to do an AoE physical hit, so everybody's getting hit by something, along with, I think he casts Reflect on himself, and he does some other kind of fire damage, but since we're 100% resist to fire, and we're using physical damage to take the boss on in this strategy, we're not worried about that Reflect or anything like that. On turn 3, he is doing AoE magic damage this time, so what we're going to want to do is use an AoE cover tank, magic cover tank. The problem here being is that is not an element. It's not fire when he does this. This is non-elemental, so it's probably going to end up killing off your magic AoE cover tank. The way you deal with this is either one, have them raised back up before we get back to that third turn on the rotation, or two, put an auto revive on them through the Ankh of I think it's Ankh of the Goddess or something like that, which is the item we're going to be using here in my guide, or using a healer or somebody just to put a re-raise or revive him up. On turn 4, this is the most pivotal, and what makes this a damage-dealing race is he will snort someone, and there's no way to stop that. And what we're going to do to deal with that is we can't have our physical tank be snorted, because if they are, then we're just going to lose the fight, because he's going to do physical AoE and hurt everybody. So what we're going to have happen is we're going to put Golem on somebody else, maybe a support unit or a damage-dealing unit that we can really afford to let go. They're going to be sorted away, and then we're going to have an item that you guys get from the expeditions, which I'll show you here, that also allows you to be 100% provoked for 1 turn, and we can put that on somebody else, probably your magic cover tank, because you're going to do that, and then you're going to have a couple more turns before you need to cover the magic damage, so it gives you a couple more turns to survive after you hit that second snort phase, if you get that far, which you kind of shouldn't as long as you have a good Olive friend on your friend list. The other things it can do is it will counter magic and physical attacks. If you hit it, it will hit you back with a move. It can be covered, but it does it per hit. So dual wielders are going to hit twice, so then he's going to hit you back twice. If you hit it once, it's going to hit you back once, but we're going to use our tank to cover that. And as you'll see in the fight, I do end up getting hit by one of them or some of them, because sometimes, you know, it's not a 100% cover, but it doesn't hit that hard as long as you're not hit with more than 1 or 2. You're good to go. We're going to go over what we need in this fight for at least my guide, and what I would recommend to you guys. You need an AoE and single target physical tank, so they're going to have the ability to provoke and also cover your team AoE. And I'm using an evade tank. If you guys have 7-star Wilhelm, feel free to try him out. You also are going to need an AoE magic tank like we talked before, but you're also going to need the ability to revive, whether that be just bringing them back to life the turn after, or an auto revive ability. Next up, your chainers, if you are using them, need to be lightning element. That way you get the most damage, and you he doesn't start absorbing all the damage you take in, and that's what's going to make your friend list kind of hard to get to, because everybody, as you can see here, 7-star Olive is on this list, because I think 7-star Olive makes the fight pretty trivial, and is really, really good for you guys to be using. You should have a ton on your friends list. I see them all the time. People are in love with her right now. You're going to need 100% fire resist on everyone, so that's going to be tough. So not only are you looking for a 7-star Olive, or you're looking for a lightning element chainer on your friends list, you're also looking for them to have 100% fire resist, or you can't use them. They'll just die off. Or if they don't have the lightning element in their hands, it's going to get absorbed, and you're not going to be able to take advantage of that. And then finally, you need status element resist on everybody. It does end up putting like all kinds of nasty status elements all over you, but we're going to be using Mastia as our magic AoE cover tank to cover that, or you guys can put ribbons, discernments, etc. to make sure you don't get hit with these nasty status elements. So now we're going to go ahead and move on and show you guys my team. Again, you guys would end up taking a say, Orlando friend or an Olive friend, this is what I have going on. I want to show you an Olive you're going to be looking forward to be taking. This is my Olive, so if you're on my friends list, this is going to be available to you. We have a high attack stat on this Olive. Check it to make sure it has 100% fire resist, and then we have a bunch of Machine Killer, right? We have Machine Killer, Frigo, and then we also have the STMR of Olive's Journal to give us a little bit more Machine Killer there. So that's going to be a lot of damage. Next up, you need a magic AoE, physical cover tank, excuse me, with the Genji shield is giving it the provoke resist, so we're good there. You can see that my abilities are as follows to make sure he has evade, and he doesn't get hit by KO'd and killed there, and he has 100% fire resist thanks to Phoenix, so we're good to go there. Next up, you need a magic AoE cover tank, so we're going to be using Mastia. The reason being is Clear Veil is really good. If you look at the equipment, this equipment's all over the place. Excuse me, I didn't mean to do that. The equipment's all over the place. None of that is useful at all. I was just messing around there. This is the part that's useful. Ankh of the Goddess, very, very good for being able to cast Revive on herself, and that's what we're going to do here with this team comp. So just get her to 100% fire resist and you'll be good to go. Next up, we're taking Garnet. Reason being is she can cast Eccentric with Riku's Pouch. The pod is not used here. It was just on her as I had it on her. We're going to be casting Eccentric because we do need to cast 2 Limit Burst, and we need to evoke an Esper, and that's what Garnet's going to be used for here. She also has Golem attached to her, so she's going to be the first one to get provoked away. So on turn 1, she's going to be casting Eccentric, then she's going to be praying to the Eidolons, and then she's probably getting snorted away. Get out of here. She's going to be flicked away by the boss. So we just get her up to over 100%, up to 100% fire resist. Make sure she's at 100%. You're good to go. Next up, we have Agrius, which is going to be our chainer. We put Coral Sword on her. Make sure she's up to 100% fire resist. Whatever you guys have to put up fire resist, slap them on them. That's all you need. The chainers don't need to be doing that much damage, honestly. You just essentially need to be building up the chain for Olive to finish, so Olive gets her maximum damage output that she can get. And again, we showed you the Olive. And then when you're talking about a friend unit, if you're taking a chainer and you already have your own Olive, make sure that they have a lightning weapon in their hand and no other weapon, and 100% fire resist, and you'll be good to go. So now we're going to be going into the fight. I hope that I explained it well enough to where you guys can be doing it. I do want to point out there is a strategy out there where you use Barts. You put a bunch of Limit Burst fill rate on Barts where it happens naturally, and then he just keeps giving his Limit Burst to Olive. That way you're casting double Limit Burst easily, and Olive just keeps casting her OP Limit Burst, and that way you can kill the boss and get it down. You need to be able to kill this boss after, you probably can survive 2 snorts for a couple of turns after 2 snorts happen, as long as it happens to, in my case, if it would happen to Garnet or Mastia, I'm fine with it. I can survive until the next magic AoE would happen, and then I'd be in trouble. But you should be able to do that if you find a good Olive. So let's get into the fight and show you guys how I took this bad boy down. Alright guys, so we're going to be getting into the battle now. We're ready to go in and try to fight this boss. One of the things is, guys, is I'm going to be using my Olive. That could be your friend Olive, or it could actually be your Olive. You just want 2 chainers using my strategy. So I'm using my Agris and taking a friend, Orlando. It's really going to be up to your friend list who has 100% fire resist and who has a lightning weapon. Because remember, guys, they can't have any other weapon because it does absorb any other kind of element on their weapon, because it absorbs it, so it won't be any good. So it has to be lightning. So I found this Orlando right here that's ready to go. So I'm going to use that instead of using friend Olive, because I couldn't find a friend Olive with 100% fire resist. So that's going to be like the strategy here. It's going to be the tough part. It's finding an Olive with 100% fire resist, or a chaining partner that has 100% fire resist and a lightning weapon in their hand. But let's get into the fight and see how we can do and see if we can take this bad boy down. Also, again, guys, as more units come out, these fights will get easier. This is nothing to chase after and go crazy for. So this is going to be his big fire AoE damage. We can see that we're all 100%, so we're fine and good to go there. We're going to have Warrior of Light cast a Provoke, because he does do a single target death cast. We're going to have Mastia cast Clear Veil. That way we don't get any of those nasty status elements hitting us in the face. We're going to have Eccentric be cast by Garnet. That way we start building up those Limit Bursts a little bit easier, and so that we can, you know, get those 2 Limit Burst casts. So we need them cast in the time it takes us to kill him. And it's kind of like a damage dealing race, because he does start snorting away your characters. And after he snorts away 2, good luck staying alive. Agrius and our Warrior of Light are going to go ahead and defend, because it triggers a repercussion back at you if you do hit him, a counter. And we don't have our AoE physical cover on right now, so we don't want to deal with that. So we're just going to leave that alone. We are going to have Olive do an ability, Shattering Shot, putting down his lightning resist, doing a little bit more damage that way. And she is going to be hit. Warrior Light actually jumped in front of it, but she'll live through that because she's not a dual wielder. If you have a dual wielder do that, they will more than likely die, because they're going to get hit twice from it. In the first turn, you can see that he just did some physical damage. Nothing too much to worry about there. We're going to have our Warrior of Light now put up his physical barrier, his physical wall. That way, we're good to go, and we can actually start doing some damage. Next turn, our Mystia is sadly going to bite the dust from a magic AoE ability, so we need to have her revive on, or you could just have Garnet raise her, but this way is a little bit simpler if you have that TMR. Next up, we're going to cast Pray to the Eidolon, so we can start getting that Esper gauge up. We're going to have our Warrior of Light friend do Divine Ruination. We're going to have our Agarius also do Divine Ruination, and then our Olive's going to go with the True Shot. So we're going to do, when we use Olive, you wait for her to knock her gun down or start touching her gun, and then chain. So we'll do this. Start touching her gun down, then you chain it up. That way you hit it really strong. Boom! You see how much damage that does if you have a really strong lightning in there. Warrior of Light didn't cover in time for Olive, so she took a knock to the mouth. But on this turn 2, your turn 2, it's going to be the Earthquake, just physical damage. You can guard that with this Evade. Warrior of Light, you're good to go there. So on the next turn, Warrior of Light has his Provoke up and has his Wall up, so it's a good time to go ahead and give ourselves some attack and defense to all. Remember, the boss does have a 50% threshold, but that makes him do a AoE physical attack, which will have that covered, but he won't do it if the magic AoE happens. He'll do the magic AoE instead, so we want to make sure we have our magic AoE wall up. Boom, like this. We're going to go ahead and use Garnet's Limit Burst. That's the first one we need out of 2. Get our Esper gauge up so we can have that ready to cast. And then we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to have Olive hit, wait for her to touch her gun. Once she does, chain it up to get maximum chaining out of it. 34%, guys. We almost have it dead. So that's what happens when you have a really strong Olive. So you can see that Mystia got hit with the AoE damage there. No problems. Bada bing, bada boom. No worries. Holy's being cast. Now, sometimes it won't go this fast, okay? In which case, if it doesn't go this fast, we're going to have to do what we're about to do. So, Garnet's going to have to cast Provoke here. Somebody has to get taken away, and we're going to choose Garnet. She's already done her job. She's already got her bar up. She already cast the Citrix. She's not needed anymore. Warrior of Light's going to go ahead and cast the Light is With Us. This is a turn where we'd cast Clearveil, excuse me, with Mystia, but we're not going to do that right now. We're going to go ahead and use Mega Flare, because we're going to see if we can actually kill her off. We're going to have Olive using the Death from Above, and we're going to go ahead and chain with Divine Ruination. And we have prepared ourselves, so just in case it doesn't, it doesn't protect us, we're okay from everything. We should be fine. Garnet should be the one getting smashed away, knocked out of the park, and we should be good to go being covered and everything like that. So, we're going to go ahead and cast this and this. Wait for all these to pop off, and then go ahead and chain it up. And there it is. There's the kill. Again, it's not always going to be that easy. That is a welled out Olive. My Olive is welled out. That is my friend unit. The Orlando chaining helped a little bit, the 7-star did, but not enough to put up for that. What really did that was Olive. Olive's attacking and things like that. And you can see we did it concise. We should have knocked out all the... I killed it at first with Olive. Again, she does so much damage. Boom, there it is. There it is. Those are all the achievements. You should be good to go there. If you take, that was another video finishing rendering for you guys. If it does take you a little bit more turns, again, you're going to take Garnet, you're going to Provoke, she's going to be knocked out, and then you're going to go back to the same rotation. The next turn is going to be single targets. You're going to have Warrior of Light Provoke, single target death. The next turn is going to be AoE physical. The next turn after that's going to be Mystia getting hit. Then the next turn after that, you better watch out, because, yeah, he's snorting away somebody else. Somebody else is getting flicked off the map. But by that time, you should definitely have it killed. You get a whole bunch more turns. In which case, you don't have an Olive like that you can use a friend Olive, and then just take 2 Divine Ruination Chainers that have Lightning. Just make sure Lightning's equipped to them. You guys should be good. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up if it helped you out. Comment down below how you took it out. And if you have an Olive about as beefy as mine, and then subscribe for future content, we'll catch you guys in the next video.